Good afternoon, Terrier Faithful. Sports Information Director Jared Plate, and we are here for our Week 4 preview with Terrier football. Head Coach Henry Stanford, always gracious to join me. And Coach, let's just jump right in, talk a little bit about last week. A really tough game against Wabash, the closest decision we've ever had against the Little Giants. And talk to us a little bit about that game and what you saw from that contest.
Yeah, guys had a lot of energy in the game. It was a warm day for both teams, for both Wabash and ourselves. Guys played very physical, very fast the whole game, had great opportunities, took advantage of some turnovers and some mistakes that Wabash made. But in the same breath, we made some mistakes ourselves. We turned the ball over and penalties and things of that nature. So it was a good game, and we definitely had opportunities to take away a win, but it just didn't go in our way.
So, Terriers are a youthful team, got a lot of young guys. Is it safe to say that some of the issues that happened with Wabash came to youth and just a little bit of inexperience and trying to keep mental mistakes down?
Yeah, a lot of it's due to being young. Guys in the big states for the first time, both from the standpoint of veteran guys who haven't played very much football to guys who are brand new to the program. Being in a high pressure situation versus a very good team can also lead to those mistakes, things of that nature. So I think that's kind of what attributes some of it.
Talk a little bit about what we need to change as far as penalties are concerned. Hiram coming into this week, one of the most penalized teams in the conference. Talk about what you need to see from your guys to kind of change that.
A lot comes down to discipline. Comes down to being disciplined within your technique, discipline within what's being taught, what's being ran. Comes down to keeping your composure. When you're in a high stakes situation, keeping your head, not getting too far into the emotion of the game. A lot of it comes down to just playing at a fast level, and when you get tired and things don't go your way, you have a tendency to make mistakes, and you have a tendency to not move your feet, depending on what position you play, things of that nature that we have to correct coming into this game.
It seemed like the running game got back at it a little bit last week. Wabash came in one of the top ranked defenses in the conference, and senior Daniel Robinson was still able to run for about 96 yards. So talk about what your offensive line was able to do and what kind of push they were able to get and what Danny was able to do to find those holes.
The offensive line did a good job this past week as far as just maintaining blocks. Sustaining blocks for more than 2-3 seconds, getting second level, getting to their linebackers. Some of the blitzing that the Wabash did, we were able to pick up some of those blitzes and twists that they were doing. And then Danny and Isaiah and the rest of our guys who gained yards rushing just find the seams and going with it. And I think that's got to be a continued trend this coming week.
So let's switch gears to talk about the upcoming opponent with the Gators of Allegheny. Is it safe to say that we might be in for an offensive game?
It's going to be a great game. It's going to be an opportunity for both our teams to showcase their offenses and both their defenses to play great D. So I look for the game to be a competitive game. Look for the game to be one where the first quarter and the first half of the game is going to be important for either team to establish what each one wants to do. So from our standpoint, we want to establish our offense and get it going early and often.
So as we get towards the middle of the season, you kind of see the good players start to separate themselves from the pack. Two of those players that seem to be in the top tier of their position are at it this weekend with Logan Lee of Allegheny and Randy Tucker for us. And talk about what Randy's has been doing, and 10 touchdowns to 1 interception through the first 3 games of the season. And then what do you know about Logan Lee, and how do you expect to slow him down?
From the standpoint of Randy, Randy is a young man, as I mentioned on other broadcasts. He's did things in the offseason to prepare himself for the season, both mentally, physically, and psychologically. He's continuing to do that. He's coming to the office, getting a chance to get in front of the board, asking questions, jumping on the computer, and watching a lot of game film, studying the opposing team, doing all the things necessary to be a great quarterback. He's doing that right now and continuing working on it. From the standpoint of Logan Lee, he's another tremendous quarterback. Does a lot of great things in the passing game. From the standpoint of watching him on film, he makes good decisions with the football. So I look for him to continue to progress in his development as well. Ways for us to contain him is just go back to basics. Get pressure on the quarterback, contain him, make sure we get pressure on him, make sure to constrict the pocket, make it tough for him to see down the field.
Now, a lot of the problems that defenses have with quarterbacks, especially at the collegiate level, is those dual threat type quarterbacks. At least according to the numbers, Lee doesn't seem to be that much of a mobile quarterback. Can you talk about a little bit about that and kind of like the traditional passer, if you would.
Yeah, from a statistical standpoint, it looks like he's more of a pocket passer. Someone's going to sit in the pocket and throw the football, and I think that makes it even more important to get a pass rush. More important to get pressure in his face, make him uncomfortable because he hasn't shown the tendency to take off and run and be that quote unquote dual threat quarterback. Definitely could have it in his DNA, could definitely have it within his arsenal, but just statistically, he's just shown he's not necessarily being that dual threat type of quarterback. So it's an intriguing thing to see on Saturday. If we get pressure on him, how he will react to it.
So let's talk a little bit about the weapons that Allegheny has. You've got running back Tyler Bala and receiver Tristan Rhodes are both gone over 100 yards in their respective categories the last couple of weeks. Talk about how you expected to slow those two guys down and what kind of balance that kind of allows Allegheny to have when you've got good running backs and receivers.
Yeah, what it does for an offense, it gives you the opportunity to attack in the run game and the pass game, to give an opposing defense a threat of both. And that's what they have right now. They have a very good running back that can gain yards on the ground as a rusher. They have a very good receiver that can get the ball to. So for us, it just comes down to latter part, great coverage. Getting to him, getting on his hip, making it difficult for him to catch balls. If it's any type of jump ball situation, play to the hip, play through the hands, get your eyes on the ball, deflect balls. From a defense standpoint, running game wise, against the run game, just maintain gaps, close up gaps, give them no lanes to run the football, and just bottle up any type of run game scenario. Get him to bounce balls more often than hit up in the hole. That allows the defense to swing to the football with a lot of helmets.
So the Terriers have won the last 3 meetings between Allegheny and Hiram. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys need to continue to do to kind of make sure that streak stays alive?
We got to continue to do the things that need to happen in a great game, which is have great run game defense, great run game on offense, protect the football on offense, and get the ball in our playmakers' hands, allow our quarterback to be comfortable and make great decisions from the pocket. When opportunities happen, to protect the quarterback in blitz situations, make the appropriate throws, do a great job in the check and meet systems that we do in our offense, things of that nature. Defensively, we just got to maintain the run game, make them one-dimensional. Once they do throw the football, if that's the chosen dimension, get pressure on the quarterback, make it difficult for them to see down the field, get to receivers, play their routes, play their hands, and just play sound defense.
So let's ask you one more time. We ask it every week. So the Terriers will win this weekend
if we sustain a run game on offense, get the ball in our playmakers' hands, don't turn the ball over, and on defense, slow down their run game, get pressure on their quarterback, don't turn the ball over, don't have a lot of excessive penalties, and just play great Hiram football.
Excellent. Very good. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, no problem.
I was head coach Henry Stanford. This was your Week 4 preview as the Terriers will travel to Meadville, Pennsylvania to take on the Gators of Allegheny. I'm Sports Information Director Jared Plate. Make sure to like us on all of our social media. Follow us on YouTube as well, and make sure to like all of the Hiram Terrier football social media as well. Once again, for head coach Henry Stanford, I am Jared Plate. Go Terriers.